Hello everyone, welcome back to the online learning session. In the previous session, we have learned how to journalize the transactions. After that, how to post the journals into the ledgers, and with the help of ledgers, how to prepare a trial balance. So we have understood it with the live example also, and again we have gone through one more example of the preparation of trial balance with the different balances like the debit balances and credit balances. Now, in this session, we will understand how to prepare the final account of a sole proprietorship. So, preparation of final accounts involves various steps. So, the step one is identification of items of trial balance to be posted to the trading account, profit and loss account, and a balance sheet. That is the first step. Second step, check the adjustments which are given in the numericals and tick those adjustments on the respective items. Then step 3, post trial balance items to the respective books such as trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Step 4, open the accounts of the adjustment item separately if needed. Step 4, do the adjustment of the respective items and give the dual effect of those items on the accounts. Then step 6 is tally or costing of trading account, then profit and loss account, and then followed by preparation of balance sheet. So these are the steps which are involved in preparation of final accounts of sole proprietorships. Then the pro forma of a trading account. So here the pro forma of a trading account is given. So trading account, generally it is a statement of showing the direct expenses of the company or of the manufacturing unit. General trading account is prepared for the manufacturing concerns, and all the direct expenses are written on the debit side of the trading account, and all the direct incomes were written on the credit side of the trading account. And over here we can have the gross profit to the debit side or gross loss to the credit side. So in detail the pro forma is like this. We have debit and credit sides, and we have particular amount. There are 4 columns. So on the debit side of the trading account we have the opening stock, then we have the purchases. From the purchases we have to reduce the return outwards or the purchase returns. So we can do the adjustments in the inner column and we have the outer figure. Then we have the direct expenses, then we have the freight, carriage inward, wages, octroi duty, custom duty, motive power, fuel, gas and water, factory rent and taxes, and royalty. Those are to the debit side. And on the credit side of a trading account we have buy sales uh, in the inner column. Then we have to subtract return inwards and sales returns from the sales, and we can have the total in the outer column. Then we have the closing stock, and we have buy direct incomes at the credit side. So for example, if we have the total of these debits 1 lakh and the total of credit as 1,20,000, so the credit side is bigger than the debit side. So we can write down 1,20,000 here, 1,20,000 here, minus 1 lakh. We have a gross profit of 20,000 on the debit side. So it is called as a 2 gross profit carried down. But if we have the debit side larger than the credit side, say for example the total of the debit is 1 lakh and the total of the credit is 80,000. So here if 1 lakh is here, we have to write down 1 lakh here and we have to subtract 80,000 from the 1 lakh. So we'll have 20,000 difference at the credit side, which is called as by gross loss. So this is the pro forma of trading account. Now the next, the pro forma of a profit and loss account. So generally profit and loss account is a statement of indirect incomes and indirect expenses of a business. So here in profit and loss account, same like the trading account, we have 4 columns, and on the debit side we have particular amount, and on the credit side we have particular amounts. So if in the trading account on the debit side we have the gross profit, then that gross profit will be brought and at the credit side of a profit and loss account. And if we have the gross loss on the credit side of the trading account, then that will be transferred from the credit to the debit of the profit and loss account. So generally in the profit and loss account at the debit side we have all the expenses like to gross loss, to office salaries, to office rent, to office rates and taxes, then insurance, printing and stationery, postage and telegram repairs, audit fees, carriage outward, advertisement, bad debt, reserve for doubtful debt. If new reserves are greater than the old reserves, then to depreciation on assets, to traveling expenses, to interest on capital, to discount allowed, and then at the last we have to net profit, but it will be counted at the end. Then on the credit side of a profit and loss account we have the by gross profit, then by discount received, by interest received, by commission received, by rent received, by sundry incomes, by interest on drawings, and by a reserve for doubtful debts, that is old reserves are greater than the new reserves. So all the indirect incomes are credited to the profit and loss account. So now when we have the credit side larger than the debit side, then we have the net profit. Say for example the total of the credit side is 1 lakh rupees and the total of debit is 80,000 rupees. So we have a difference of 20,000, that is called as net profit. And if the debit side of a profit and loss account is 1 lakh, and if it is larger than the credit side, that is credit side we have 70,000, so here we can write down 1 lakh minus 70,000, there will be 30,000, that is called as a net loss. So if there will be a net profit, it will be added to the balance sheet capital, and if it will be a net loss, then it will be deducted or subtracted from the capital of the company. So this is the pro forma of profit and loss account. So we have understood trading account and profit and loss account, and these two statements were prepared with the help of the trial balance. Then next is balance sheet, which is also prepared with the help of trial balance, but in balance sheet we'll see which are the items. So balance sheet as on dash dash. So we have the liabilities rupees and assets rupees. So in the liability side we have the capital accounts. Here we can add the net profit which is coming from the profit and loss account. If it is net loss, then we have to subtract it from capital, and if any drawings were there which are given in the trial balance, we have to subtract those from the capital, and at the outer we can write down this. In inner we can do the adjustments. Then we have all the liabilities like sundry creditors, bills payable, loan taken, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, pre-received income, those are on the liability side. Whereas we have the other side, that is assets of the balance sheet, where we have the goodwill, then land and building. If adjustment will be there of the depreciation, then we have to write down these assets in the inner column. Generally it is on the fixed assets. Then plant and machinery will be there, furniture and fixtures, investment, cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, sundry debtors, prepaid expenses, stock in trade, outstanding incomes. Those are some of the items of the assets. Then once we have been posted all the things from the trial balance, then we can tally the liability side and asset sides, and if it will be tallied, which means that your numerical is correct. So now we have understood the trading account, profit and loss account, and a balance sheet. So we'll see there are certain adjustments which are given while solving the numericals with respect to the final accounts. So first we'll see the first adjustment, that is closing stock. And there are two effects of a closing stock. Generally closing stock is always valued at market price or cost price, whichever is less. And the first effect of the closing stock is on the credit side of a trading account, that is by closing stock, and the second effect will be at the asset side of the balance sheet. Then the second adjustment is depreciation on the fixed assets, and generally the depreciation is charged on the respective fixed assets and it will be deducted from the assets on the balance sheet asset side. The second effect will be depreciation is a loss, so it will be debited to the profit and loss account. So that was the second effect. Then the third adjustment of final account is outstanding expenses. So generally the outstanding expenses are included either in the trading account or profit and loss account debit side, and those are added to the concern item. And the second effect of the outstanding expenses on the liability side of a balance sheet. Then the next adjustment, that is outstanding income. So the effect of the outstanding income is trading account or profit and loss account credit side add to the concern item, and the second effect is balance sheet asset side, that is current asset. Then we have the next item, that is prepaid expenses. So what we have to do, we have to deduct that prepaid expenses from the respective items from the trading account or from the profit and loss account where the item is there. Whether it is a direct item, then it will be from trading. If it is an indirect expense, then it is in the profit and loss account. And second effect will be at the asset side of a balance sheet. Then next adjustment is on interest on creditor capital. So the first effect is profit and loss account debit side as interest is paid, and the second effect is balance sheet liability side added to the capital. Then next, interest on drawings. So the first effect is profit and loss account credit side, and second, balance sheet liability side deducted from capital. Then next we have the bad debt. So on balance sheet asset side deduct from debtors and profit and loss account debit side. Then we have reserve for discount on debtors, same balance sheet asset side deduct from debtors and profit and loss account debit side. Then we have next reserve for discount on creditors. It should be balance sheet liability side deduct from the creditors, and the second effect profit and loss account credit side. If it appears in the trial balance, then only you have to show it into the profit and loss account credit side. Then next, goodwill written off. The effect, first effect is profit and loss account debit side, and second effect is balance sheet asset side deduct from goodwill. And the last transaction, that is the last adjustment, that is goods distributed as free samples. So it is an expenditure, so profit and loss account debit side, and second trading account debit side deduct from purchases. So this is all about the effects of or the adjustments. Those are generally in final accounts. So there are certain important points of trial balance for preparation of final accounts. So first, whenever in trial balance debit balances were given, so all the debit balances are always written to either the trading account debit side or to the profit and loss account debit side or balance sheet asset side. Then second thing to remember, credit balances. All the credit balances of the trial balance are always written to either trading account credit side or profit and loss account credit side or balance sheet liability side. And third, closing stock is always valued at market price or cost price, whichever is lower. So now you have been cleared with the various steps of preparation of final accounts. Then you have been cleared with the pro forma of trading account, profit and loss account and a balance sheet, and you have been knowing all the adjustment entries and the important points of the trial balance for preparation of final accounts. So in the next session we'll see a practical example of preparation of trial balance. So today we'll stop here. Thank you.